Right, good afternoon, people of YouTubes. As you can tell by my voice and style of speaking, I'm really excited about this little car, and this is my new, to me, Metro GTI race car for 2024. Right, I've been after one of these for a few years now, and last year I started to actively look, and I had one that came up, but the sale didn't go through. It all went a little bit quiet and dry. So last year I didn't get one, but this year I was looking a little bit harder, and there was a couple that came up, and one I was ready to pull the trigger on, and the guy decided that he wasn't going to sell it anymore. And this one came up shortly afterwards, and it's here. So yeah, as you know, we'll pull the trigger on this one. It's here in front of me, and I think today we're just going to go through it, just have a little walk around it and a little bit of a talk to see what the plans are. Right, so I'll start off with saying that this was in the classic stock hatch in the 750 Motor Club, which is what we're building the Escort for. So that all meets that regulations. And also I wanted to race in the MG Metro Cup as well. So yeah, although this one isn't going to be competitive in the Metro Cup, because of the classic stock hatch regulations, you need to keep a lot of the standard bits on there, which means weight and all that sort of stuff. So it's not going to be competitive in the Metro Cup, but we are going to have a little bit of a go in there and yeah, see where we place basically. There isn't much we can do on this to improve it over on the classic stock hatch, again, because everything's got to be stock. So there's some little tidying up bits that we need to do in order to get this ready to race. So this is the point of the video really, and what we're going to do today. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll have a little look on the inside first, and make some sort of plan up with that, and then we'll have a look in the engine bay and again underneath. And we might just whip the wheels off and just check inside the wheel area, and see what all that is like inside, and just see what bits it has and hasn't got. But again, being in the classic stock hatch, it's not going to have a lot of aftermarket bits on it, because the classic stock hatch is basically everything stock apart from the safety equipment, some tyres and some upgraded pads. So yeah, that's about it really. So we'll make a start off, and we'll go have a look in here. It's already got a roll cage in it, so it's good. Last season, that done every race, that started and finished every race in the classic stock hatch, so it proves to be quite a reliable vehicle. Yeah, so that's always a winner, knowing that it's done that. Steering wheel, I think we might change the steering wheel to an aftermarket one. I think we can do that. We'll have to just double check on all the regulations, but I think we can change the steering wheel to an aftermarket one. And the seat is a Sparco Evo. I had one of these in the Escort, and we've recently put that into the other Metro. It's a little bit tight for me, but I still fitted them. I think I'm about a 38-inch waist. So yeah, again, it's a little bit tight. I'm not the smallest of blokes, and I'm about 115 kilos at the minute. So again, I'm not the lightest of guys either. Seat belts, I know these are out of date. STR, they can be sold on to a track day guy, but they ran out of date this year, 2023. So I've already been and got a set of belts, which is what we use in the MGF race car, which I brought for this one. But by the time I get them fitted into this one, they're probably going to be out of date. So we'll stick them in this one because we've already got them. And the front back knee support is missing out the seat, so might see if we can get hold of one of them, but it's no biggie if we can't. Looking around the dash, the wiring, which I knew about speaking to the guy I was trying to sort out the sale of the car. He said the wiring's a little bit untidy, and that is one of the things that need to be sorted out. The dash is all cut up, obviously, for the roll cage, but I think I've got another dash, and obviously just everything's a little bit loose and a little bit thrown together. Even the fire extinguisher kit's just a little bit thrown together. We've got a start button there, so ignition, and then we've got the start button just here, but we'll start up and run it in a bit anyway. Door cards, all standard door cards. Again, classic stock hatch requires you to run a door card. You can either have the standard door cards, or you can make your own out of aluminium, and aluminium only, I believe. So I might just do some aluminium door cards, just tidy it up, but it need to be executed to a high level apparently, according to the regulations. So yeah, that's the driver's area. Yeah, so we'll just go around. We'll go into the boot area. Got some boot pins and the boot lock, which needs to be disabled, so we'll disable that. Nothing really to scream and shout about, just an empty boot lid, or boot area I should say. Things like these seat brackets have been cut off, so we might just drill out the spot welds to tidy that up a little bit. And yeah, all the sound deadening's been taken out the back here, which is a bonus. We've got a little bit of rust and rot in this little wheel arch area, and again in this one here, and it looked like someone put a little plate on there as well. But that should be absolutely fine for racing. We're not really too worried about too much rot or rust. So, and obviously we've got these bonnet pin things that are a little bit not very secure, shall we say, and they're just put in with a couple of self-tabbers, so we'll need to make some kind of different bracket up for that, and perhaps weld it into the boot lid itself, so it's a little bit more secure. And as I say, we need to disable the boot locking mechanism as well, so it's just literally resting on the boot pins basically. Right, so yeah, just a little bit of a view around the back here into the passenger side area. Again, door card will sort all that out. The dash is very hacked up, but as I say, I think I've got another dash. I bought two dashes when I was doing a Metro Turbo, and I think I picked the best dash out of the two for that Metro, and I think the other one just sits outside, so we're just going to have a look at the condition of the dash. I think it's all in one piece, but I think it might be a little bit flaky, as in the plastic starting to tear out a little bit. I'm not really too sure. I'll have to have another look and see about that. But yeah, just the wire and everything just is all over the place, which I knew anyway. The guy was quite open about it, so what he said to me was that the wiring needs addressing, the belts are out of date, and the extinguisher needs a service. So yeah, they're all bits that I knew about anyway. You can see date for servicing is May 24, so that's nearly come out. By the time we go racing, that'll be out of date. So again, I bought a nice new Lifeline 2020 lightweight extinguisher, full kit, and we'll plumb it in properly, so it's a little bit neater, rather than just being slung in. We'll make some brackets up and yeah, just try and make it a little bit nicer, if that makes sense. The only thing that I'm not really too happy about is the harness bar in the back here, how it's on the on these clamps. Now I know they're going to be absolutely fine, but there's just something in me that's just saying get a proper bar fitted in and welded in properly. So I might take it somewhere and get a proper harness bar welded in from this post here to this post here, and that then ties in with the center bar as well. So I might go and do that just so I'm a little bit happier, just in case there is an accident. I want it to be as perfect as I possibly can, or as safe as I possibly can. But yeah, apart from that, the cage is all okay, it's all fitted okay. It's a little bit old and rough now, so yeah, depending on how we get this season done, and we might next year or next winter completely strip the car down and have the cage all powder coated and all the inside here painted. But the goal is at the minute is just to get everything in date, get the wiring sorted, service everything, and then get it on the track. So yeah, and this is a sunroof model, and it has had a sunroof delete put in. So it's just basically a metal panel that's been riveted to the roof, and a big union jack stuck on top just so it's not leaking everywhere. Right, so that's the inside all sorted, all gone through. The outside here again is a little bit rough and ready. Bumpers just don't quite fit properly and they're rubbing on the tyres. I think it's had a new front end put in at some point, because the paint colour is completely different. So yeah, I think it's had a little bit of a knock at some point, although the whole front of the car looks absolutely straight, like underneath all the panels and stuff. I'll show you that when we open the bonnet up. But everything, like chassis rails and all that, looked nice and straight. Slam panel looked nice and straight, for what I can see. So yeah, why that was changed, I don't know, but it was changed to a blue one, and then obviously rattle canned on top, just to sort of make it blend in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a good, ready starter car that I can go start the races in and progress throughout the season and make it better throughout the season. So that is my plan and goal. Right, let's get the bonnet up. Let's have a look underneath the bonnet. Right, here we go. 1.4 K series, 16 valve. Out of a late Metro GTI, basically. Not really anything to scream and shout about. Internally, completely standard engine. So yeah, we've got a standard airbox. Not too sure if there's a panel filter in it or not. I don't think there is, because I don't think the stock hatch regulations allow it. So again, just bog standard engine, ready to go. The only thing that you can do on these is change the exhaust from the manifold back. So the manifold's got to be standard, but anything past the manifold is free. You can't even do any internal workings inside the manifold for extra flow. It's got to be absolutely standard. Hence the name classic stock hatch. Underneath here, as I say, all the chassis legs are nice and straight, no bends or crunches or crimples in them. So, and again, looking around the front here, the lower rad panel looks nice and secure as well. The fan's a little bit on the loose side, so we'll need to do something with that. But that is a 5-blade, like a turbine fan. So yeah, that's a good fan for one of these. Has a standard fan anyway, so we'll just need to look to re-secure that. The wiring again, which I knew about, it's just all over the place, probably many dozens of trackside repairs just to get it to work. Standard ECU has just been bolted to the airbox, and the MFU has just been cable tied to the rest of the wiring. But again, we can sort all that out, no issues whatsoever. It's got a battery, not too sure what type of battery it is. It don't look like a race battery, it look more like a motorcycle battery. But again, standard car regulations state it's got to be in the standard location. But the battery type is free, so I might get a nice little lightweight race battery like I've got in here. And the actual battery should be here anyway. But where the thing's been cut out, it's a little bit loose, probably not ideal to be securing batteries to. So again, we'll sort all that out anyway when we go to sort the wiring out. And there's just bits like these little chocolate blocks that are just dangling in air. But yeah, that's underneath. It's bonnet is all blue, the wings were blue. So yeah, they just had a coat of silver on top, just to try and blend them in a little bit. So it's probably had a little bit of a knock at the front somewhere, and just bent the wings up. So they just put in a new wing and bonnet set on anyway. Slam panel's been cut, obviously for access, so you can undo these two bolts here, and the whole slam panel comes out for radiator changes. So that's nice and easy. I think the goal is going to be to convert all this to a MEMS freestyle standard ECU. I need to really read into regulations, because although it is a standard ECU for these Metros, or for the Rover K series, it's not for the Metro, if that makes sense. And I know that if you do anything ECU related other than standard, it's a 20 kilo weight penalty. So you have to put 20 kilos of weight ballast in your car to compensate for the non-standard ECU, basically. So I need to weigh up, and if I do MEMS free, do I do the MEMS free ECU, or do I do a standalone ECU? A standalone ECU is going to give me a lot better scope for adjustment and tuning. So yeah, we need to weigh up whether that's going to be beneficial to go for standalone rather than standard, and not take the weight penalty, basically. Heater box, that can go, we can get rid of the heater, so that's extra weight that can come out the car. As you see by the side of the car, our minimum weight is going to be 840 kilos. So yeah, engine oil all looks good, although it looks a little bit black. So I think we'll go through the services anyway. We'll change the belt, water pump, do a service, spark plugs, all that sort of stuff. Coolant looks nice and clean inside the bottle, so no contaminants of oil, which is good. It's got a wiper arm missing, but it's got the full linkage, so I'm not really too sure if one just got lost or one's been taken off for a reason, but there's not really much weight on a wiper arm. So, and we've got some sort of repair going on here. It looks a bit thin here, so I think the scuttle panel's getting a little bit on the rusty side. But anyway, that's all by the by. We can sort that out later on in the off season. I think we'll just get in the car, get it serviced, get out on the track, and then just see what the car is like on the track, and see how much fun we're going to have blarting this thing around on the circuits. So yeah, I've always wanted to race a Metro, and the opportunity's come up, so I'm going to take it with both hands and go for it. Right, let's get the thing up in the air, let's go through underneath. Right, all up in the air, let's have a quick look underneath and see what we can see. So yeah, just a standard, I'm going to get that torch somewhere where we can see it, don't blind ourselves. Standard gearbox by the looks of it. Got some funky Lambda wiring going on underneath the sump here, so again something that we need to sort out. We got some ball joints in there that allows us camber. So yeah, it all looks good. We've got some Avo shocks which look a bit old, so they might need to be sent off for service. Standard rubber brake lines, so I think we can upgrade them to some nice braided ones. Look this side, much the same this side. We've got a split CV boot, which we'll address. But yeah, everything's all looks rather good here. Exhaust is a little bit slung together by the looks of it, so we'll have a look, see if we can do that. Now we can TIG weld, or might be able to sort something a bit special out on it. So as I say, the exhaust from the manifold, which is this part here, is free. So anything from this section back is free, so we can see we can do something a little bit spicy with that, I think. We've got a little bit of rot going on in the front here, but that looks to be all plated up from the inside. So yeah, again, something that we can probably tackle in the off season, but it's more than adequate enough to race. It's not really anything structural to worry about. Front roll bar, yeah. Subframe looks all good, a little bit of surface rust, but again, not nothing to really worry about. It's got rubber subframe mounts, so again, we might see about getting some solid ones on there. The front radiator panel looks to be a little bit on the rotten side. Yeah, it's a little bit rough, but again, completely solid. Just the upper skin is a little bit rotted through. So yeah, that's the front part. Have a little look at the back. Got a little bit of a rotten arch there. Again, nothing structural, so we can run with that. Just don't look very nice, but we can sort out all the niceties when we know we've got a good running car. Right. Again, exhaust, floor looks good, fuel tank look good. All the pipes look good. Rear subframe looks good. So yeah, all the suspension looks like it's been lowered properly and individualised, so we can yeah, play with the pressures in the spheres if we need to. Boot floor look okay, just under seal basically, it's flaking off. Same again this side, and we've got a rear roll bar as well, which is nice. Bushes look a bit cracked and worn, but it is what it is. A back box, not really too sure what system this is. Looked like an Ashley system to me, but who knows. But yeah, that's underneath. All the plastics look like they've been, let's get rid of this torch. All the plastics look like they've been coated in some kind of paint just to make them look black by the looks of it. Again, not anything you'd really notice from a distance. We've got a little bit of whatever that is on there, and some damage has been overpainted there. But yeah, I knew this was going to be a little bit of a project of a car, but I'm not really too worried because we did pick it up quite cheap. I'm not going to go on about how much it costs, but let's just say I got an okay deal that I was happy with compared to others out there that look in just as rough a shape but just had a few nicer bits on for like double the money. So yeah, again, I think I've done okay out of this one. Again, I had to pay for it to be transported down here as well, because that was on the other side of the country, so I paid to have it transported. So yeah, I got a little bit into it, but I think that gives me a big enough purse to then be able to do all the improvements and make it a better car than what others were advertised for the more money, if that makes sense. So yeah, I've already previously gone round all the suspension and ball joints and all the wheel bearings. I like that. So we'll need to stick a set of wheel bearings in. I think the only one that isn't like that is the driver's side front. But again, the guy was honest with me, and he said that, yeah, this one's fine. The guy was honest with me and said that it probably could do with a front wheel bearing and a CV boot, because I think his son replaced it or something, and he wasn't too sure whether that was done correctly or not. But this was the wheel in question with the split CV boot. So yeah, I've got all wheel bearings on order, so I replaced the whole lot, and I've got 2 brand new outer CV joints with all the boots as well on order, so we can go through that and yeah, just make it nice. I've got pretty much all the service parts anyway in stock, so yeah. So I think the other thing he mentioned was brake pads. If I can find my torch, I'll take a wander around the back. It says some of the brake pads. So obviously there's drums on the back. So see if we can see anything in there. I think they're about half worn by the looks of it, so still got quite a metre left on the brake pads, but I don't know what pads are in it. So yeah, I'm not really too sure what pads have got in it. So again, when we service it, we're going to take all the brakes apart and then just make sure everything is nice and serviced and yeah, just spot on basically. So yeah, that is my new 2024 race car, Rover Metro GTI, and we're planning on doing classic stock hatch, MG Metro Cup, and this is also regulated to run in the MG Rover Cup as well in Class A, which I'm going to be racing the MGF in this year. So yeah, there's 3 scenarios we can race in. That's all related to MGs basically. I know the classic stock hatch, this is the only Metro last year that was in. So yeah, that'd be nice to see where we end up in the ranks in that, because this was a back runner in the classic stock hatch. So yeah, again, we'll just take it as it is and we will see where we end up basically. But it's getting to a point where the MGF is without spending silly money, in the sense of putting a 200 horsepower VHPD engine in it. That is one of the ultimate MGFs out there that can race in a series. So yeah, it's got everything on it that needs to be done. So plus I always wanted to race a Metro. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here for now. Let me know in the comments what you think. Any suggestions, again, put them in the comments. Because because I'm open to everything, what you think I should do. If you have specific knowledge in the regulations for classic stock hatch and the MG Metro Cup, let me know what you would do to this car to make it quicker, better. Yeah, just bang it down in the comments, obviously for myself and for all to see. But for now, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and obviously click that notification bell, because then you'll know next time I upload a video regarding this vehicle and all the other vehicles that I've got going on at the minute. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.